Annunciationes classis Latina, capitulum quartum, Dominus et Servi. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Okay, so I'm going to go directly to here. There we go. I thought we'd do this in a little different order. We'll listen to this first. It's short and just sections 1 and 2. So it's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. And then we'll go back to the text. And I'll try and twist some arms and see if I can get some folks to read the various parts. The good news is, actually, I will jump over to the Familia Romana. Let's see here. The good news is, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I had the page up. Okay, hold on just a second. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, you probably can't see that, can you? Oh, yes, actually you can. You're seeing the capitulum quartum, right? Yes? No? You'll have to unmute your...
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The good news is this is a relatively simple, grammatically that is, chapter. The two big things they introduce is something called the vocative, and we'll get to that. And then the imperative, which is when English has an imperative too. It's when you command somebody. So when you say come or go or some without a pronoun, you will see it. But it has a lot of stuff in it in terms of words and constructions. So even though the grammar isn't terribly difficult, be advised that whoops, I wanted to go here.
There is content.
There is content, yes. So anyway, let's listen to this. And hold on, let me do one thing there. Okay, so.
Dominus et Servi. Scena prima. Persone, Julia, Emilia, Medus.
We're not seeing the text.
Non parvus est.
Whoop,
In
not seeing it. Did I not add that one? I thought I added them all. Okay, thank you, Teresa. Let's see, sorry about that. Whoops, I need to put that away. Share. I thought I got them all. There we go. Whoops. How about that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Est pecunia. Iulius pecuniam in saculo habet. Emilia saculum videt, Iuliumque interrogat. Quod nummi sunt in saculo tuo?
Let me just switch to the pictures for a second. So, saculus. Easy to remember. In English, we have what? Sack, right? Pouch, bag, your choice. And pecunia is money.
Iulius respondet centum. Emilia, Num hic centum nummi sunt? Iulius pecuniam numerat. Unus, duo, tres, quattuor, quinque, sex, septem, octo, novem, decem, quid decem tantum. Iulius Rursus pecuniam numerat. Unus, duo, tres, quattuor, novem, decem. Numerus numorum non est centum, sed decem tantum. Iulius, quid in saculo meo non centum, sed tantum decem nummi sunt? Ubi sunt ceteri nummi? Servi mei, ubi sunt? Medus, servus tuus medus hic est. Iulius servum suum medum videt, Davum non videt. Medus adest, Davus non adest, sed abest. Iulius et Emilia et Medus ad sunt, Davus ceterique servi absunt. Iulius, quid? Unus servus tantum adest? Ubi est Davus? Davum voca. Medus Davum vocat. Dave, sed Davus medum non audit, neque venit. Medus Rursus Davum vocat. Dave, veni! Davus venit. Iam duo servi ad sunt.
All right, let's take the first section. All right. I guess this doesn't have quite as much. All right, so we need a Julius, an Emilia, and a Medus. Any volunteers?
Who wants to be the bad guy?
Well, we don't know he's
guess-
bad guy yet, okay? Don't give it away.
I guess I'm the natural fit for Amelia.
So you're Amelia? Okay.
Medus.
So we need a Julius and a Medus.
I'll be Medus.
Okay. And who's going to be Julius?
Oh, I'll be Julius.
I was going to say Alex will make you I was going to make Jess, but he's driving, so that's not a great idea. So, okay. And I'll be the narrator. Saculus Iuli non parvus est. In saculo eius est pecunia. Iulius pecuniam in saculo habet. So, saculus pecunia. Any questions as to what that means? Nope. Was that a question? Okay. Amelia saculum videt, Iuliumque interrogat. Quod numini sunt in saculo tuo?
I thought I was Amelia.
Oops, sorry. I stepped in lines. Go ahead.
You want me to say it?
No, you say it. Read it.
Okay. What nummi sunt in saculo tuo?
Yeah. So numus is a coin, okay? You may have heard of numismatic or numismatist, who are coin collectors. So that's numus is a coin. Julius respondet.
Centum.
Num hic centum nummi sunt.
Julius pecuniam numerat.
Unus, duo, tres, quattuor, quinque,
Yeah.
sex, septem, octo, novem, decem, quid? Decem tantum?
Good
Right.
job.
Very good. So tantum here, everybody remember the tantum ergo sacramentum.
Mhm. Sacramentum.
And we also say it during mass. We say
Yeah.
tantum dic verbo.
Yeah.
Yeah, tantum dic verbo. Okay. So tantum really means um
Only.
only or only so much.
Only.
It's kind of a tricky, yeah, but it's only in sense of quantity. So tantum ergo sacramentum is therefore such a great sacrament. Um, so it can actually take a couple of different meanings.
So it means such in that context.
Such, yeah, or in this case, well, it could be such as
No,
in
I'm saying
many,
when you
or
were just
Or,
such,
talking about
or
people,
only,
or only.
only 10. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's a limiter. Yeah. So anyway, and now you know how to count to 10 in Latin. You'll find that a lot of that looks amazingly similar to the Spanish. Um, and so maybe that'll help you there. Anyway, Julius Rursus pecuniam numerat. Don't you do your part yet. Rursus means again. It
or
Like
back,
return,
Yeah,
return
or it
again.
could also mean to
Whatever.
turn around. Okay.
turn around. Okay.
Turn around,
Good.
yes. But right here, or return. Yeah, maybe return is a better translation. So Julius returns to counting numerat, his money. Anyway, go ahead, Julius.
Okay. Unus, duo, tres, quator, novem, decem. Am
Numeres
I talking? Yeah.
numerorum non
Okay.
escentem sed decem tantum.
Quid? In saculo meo non centum, sed tantum decem numi sunt, ubi sunt cetere numi. Servi, mei, ubi sunt.
Okay. Any questions?
Servus medus hic est.
Oh, very good. Any questions so far? Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay. Yes, Medo. Julius servum suum medum videt, davum non videt. Medus ad est, davus non ad est, sed ap est. Now, we've seen est before, is. Okay. Latin will add prepositions, which we haven't had the only preposition we really had is in, like in Italia, in Europa, etc. But op est, op means away. You can think of it as absent. Okay.
That's good.
Ad est means here.
Here.
And let's see. Trying to
Sometimes
think
it
of it.
means near, doesn't it?
Well, near, present.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what a good odd. Let's see. Do we have a good
Ad
one?
nauseum.
How about adeste?
That's one way.
And to
about
the point of,
adeste
yeah, take
fidelis?
you to the point of sickness. So, yeah.
Well,
Michael,
yeah.
adeste fidelis.
Oh, thank you. Yes. In fact,
Oh,
I
that's a
thought
good
about it
one.
the other day. I was saying, oh yeah, I got to remember to do adeste. Okay, adeste, um, adeste fidelis means all ye faithful be here. Okay, so remember adeste, which I guess we translate that as come all ye faithful.
So that it means it's in the imperative.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, show up, sort of. So ad est, Davos non ad est means Davos is not here. Said op est, he is absent. So if you want to, the next time somebody asks you if you're present, you can say ad sum, meaning I am here. And if you're not here, then you could say op sum. But if you aren't here, I'm not sure how you would say that. So anyway, Julius et Emilia et Medus ad sunt, Davus ceterec ceterique servi absunt. Now,
Quid? Oh, sorry.
this is a new word, ceteri, ceteris. We get et cetera. Et
Mhm.
cetera is etc is an abbreviation for et and cetera. Well, we've had et. Well, cetera means all the others. So
Mhm. And the others
Davus
are-
and all the other servants are absent. So
You get the
Julius,
QE, which means and at the end of that.
right, right. So Julius,
Quid unus servus tantum adest? Ubi est Davus? Davum voca.
okay, hold on, Medus. Now we have the imperative. We've had vocat, which means he, she, it calls. So when we use the imperative for singular nouns, we drop the T. So vocat becomes voca, venit becomes veni, or veni, short e, sorry. Audit, he, she, it hears becomes audi. So the imperative is probably going to be your easiest verb form out there. And we'll get to the plurals later. Where were we? Okay, medus, davum vocat.
Dave,
Sed davus medum non audit, neque venit. Medus rursus davum vocat.
Dave, veni.
Davus venit, iam duo servi ad sunt. So any questions on that first section? Ad est, hic est, meaning here he is. Ob est is the opposite of ad est. Ad sunt is hic sunt.
Oh, that's great.
Ob
that they
sunt
have that.
is ad sunt. So
Yeah, that's good to have that.
yeah. So the next time you're in class and the teacher calls roll, you can say ad sum.
Ab.
Well, no, if you say obsum, then that means you're not there, as in absent. Yeah.
That's a good way to remember it.
Yeah. All right. Let's press on here. Let me go back to the. All right, here.
Scena seconda. Persone, Iulius, Emilia, Medus, Davus. Davus, qui Dominum sum non videt, medum interrogat. Id est mede, medus st, medus st. Dominus adest, saluta Dominum. Servus Dominum salutat, salve Domine. Dominus servum salutat, salve serve. Davus, quid est Domine?
Okay. Salve. We tend to think, whoops, sorry, I
Iulius
just went, sorry about
tace.
that. I went back.
Salve Regina.
Whoops. Yeah, hold on. Let me get back to where we need to be here. Whoops. Sorry about that. Come on. Let's see here. Okay, a little more. Okay, there is. There we are. Sorry about that. Yeah, salve regina literally means hello, queen. That is the way Romans greeted each other. Now, salve actually doesn't mean so much just hi. It means be well. Yeah, it means be well because we have salvation. And so it means to be healthy. It means to be in good spirits. Which
that's
they
why
are
it's
hello,
that's why it's in the imperative.
Yes. Yes. So salve Domine would perhaps be treated or translated as Greetings, Lord. Because we don't really have a good, perfect equivalent from
And
for salve.
and is Domine in the vocative there?
Yes, and that's the other one we learn now is oh, actually, I'm sorry, I skipped the vocative when it was dave. So yes, Dominus is the verb. Davus, or noun, excuse me. Davus was also the noun. The vocative for US ending second declension masculine nouns is an E. And so you should be familiar with the Domine. Domine, non sum dignus or entres tectum meum. Lord, I am not worthy to enter under your roof. Bunch of places it gets used. So salve is a greeting. It really means be well, be healthy, be in good cheer. Might be a best way of translating it. All right. Anyway, where were we?
I always think of hail, like hail.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah,
Yeah.
hail is not not bad. If you ever look up what hail means in English,
Means to be well, hail and hearty.
yeah, hail and hearty. Well, that's Hale, not Hail. So, all right.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
The Regina then, is that also the vocative? Because Dominus becomes Domine, but is Regina
Okay.
that's ending in A?
All right. We will jump since the question was asked. Let's jump to my vocative chart here. Okay, there we go. Casus vocativus. The vocative case. It comes from the word vocat, which we saw, call, And so the vocative means you are calling or addressing a person, okay? This is a really simple declension or case because the noun has to either end in US or IUS, which means it's second declension, and it's masculine. And you simply drop the US for an E. So Dominus, Domine, Servus, Serve, Marcus, Marce, Davus, Dave, etc., etc., etc. Regina is first declension, and so the vocative form is exactly identical to the nominative form. I'm sorry, ladies, you don't get a special ending all for yourself. So you could claim it is vocative, and technically you'd be right, it is vocative, but the ending is the same. So make of that what you will. Because it is direct address, so grammatically it is vocative. So I think if we jump down here, let's see, I think I have a little table. Yeah, okay, here we go. Declinatio prima, vocativus. Okay, nominativus, it ends in A if you're singularis. Vocativus ends in A for singularis. Pluralis is AE and pluralis is AE. So if you were to look at a table, I did insula. I suppose you wouldn't be calling an island. I don't know. You see insula in insula and insulae, insulae. It's exactly the same. So,
Michael?
Yeah.
If Julius is calling his daughter, he just says Julia.
Philia, yes. Probably should have used philia here, but I did insula for all the other tables. So yes, he would just say philia. Whereas for declinatio secunda, for masculinum and neutrum, we see US and the vocative is E. The ER is the same ending, the IR is the same ending, and the UM is the same ending. That's why I have dash, dash, dash there. Maybe I should put in UMs. So we know vir is man. So if I were calling a man, I would just say vir, okay? If I were calling puer, yeah, puer. Yeah, we have puer, boy. I would just say puer. There's no change in the ending. That's why I said this is probably the easiest ending of all of them, because just for these you add an E. Now I will say one other thing. There are two exceptions for US ending nouns. Deus and annus do not have the E form. Why? I haven't a clue, but they don't. So Deus in adiutorium meum intende. Lord, reach out to help me. Domine ad adjuvanda me festina. This is at the beginning of the Liturgy of the Hours. So you see Deus, but you see Domine, okay? And you see Agnus Dei. Agnus should actually be vocative, Agne, but it's not. Agnus Dei qui tollis peccata mundi. So Deus and Agnus do not have a vocative form. Why? Well, invent a time machine and go back and ask the ancient Roman grammarians. I suspect it's because it would be very difficult to pronounce. Deus with two E's would be like de, which is not real cool. Agnus, you could say Agni or Agni. Agnus, lamb, is where we get Agnes. But those do not have the E form.
Yeah, a good representation of that is that Domine Deus Agnus Dei in the Gloria.
Yes.
Because then you see the E for the vocative, but then Deus and Agnus Dei, Agnus is not and doesn't change its form, and Deus doesn't. Well, it's Dei, but
yeah. Well, that's genitive.
Agnus
Dei, Lamb of God. So that's the genitive form. So
yeah, but if you say Domini Deus Agnus Dei.
Oh yeah, good point.
what...
Domini Deus Agnus Dei. Good point. All three letters. Oh, I missed that one. All right, here I'm going to put that one in. Domine. I'll fix Deus Agnus Dei.
So the first three words, you can see how the vocative plays out.
Oh, thank you.
According to your rule.
Right. So anyway, that hopefully answers your question, Jess. Is Regina is vocative, but you guys don't get a special ending. So
yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you.
So let's go back to where were we here? Okay. Okay. Oh, we need a Davus. So we've added Davus to the mix. So who can be our Davus? Who can be Davus?
Task.
Vince, how about you be the Davus? Can you be Davus?
Yes, I will. Okay.
Okay. Servus Dominum salutat. Well, this happens to be Davus. Oh, wait. We're listening to this, aren't we? We're not reading it yet. Sorry.
Iulius Emilia Medus Davus.
We'll come back.
Davus, qui Dominum sum non videt, medum interrogat. Quid est mede? Medus st. Medus st. Dominus adest, saluta Dominum. Servus Dominum salutat. Salve Domine. Dominus servum salutat. Salve serve. Davus. Quid est Domine? Iulius st. Tace serve, tace et audi. Servus tacet. Iulius in sacculo meo sunt decem tantum nummi. Ubi sunt ceteri nummi mei? Davus tacet, neque respondet. Emilia, responde, Dave, Dominus te interrogat. Davus respondet, pecunia tua hic non est, interroga medum. Iulius medum interrogat. Ubi sunt nummi mei mede? Medus nullum verbum respondet. Iulius Rursus eum interrogat. Ubi est pecunia mea? Responde, serve. Medus davum accusat. Pecunia tua in sacculo davi est. Davus pecuniam tuam abet. Emilia, audi dave, medus te accusat. Davus, quem medus accusat me? Iulius, tace mede, servus qui servum accusat, improbus est. Medus
All right, let's go back to.
Am I hearing that the beginning H is being dropped in this version?
I'm looking for a beginning H.
Yeah, habet. You had your right in the middle of the page. Medus davum accusat, pecunia tua in sacculo davies.
Oh, habet.
The last word, I think
he may
he
be.
said habet.
I don't know if he's dropping it or it's hard to hear.
He's so soft-spoken.
The new people may not understand that that's an issue.
Well, we're going to pronounce it. The dropping of H's is historically been geographical, meaning some areas in Europe, since would have dropped it. Even some native Latin speakers would drop it. But the purists, the grammatical purists in ancient Rome said, no, it is pronounced. And
you see that in English even.
Yeah,
People
you
say
see it in
humble instead of
English.
humble and-
Do you say herb, H-E-R-B, when you're reaching for that bottle of thyme? Or do you say herb? And the answer is, well, it depends. Some people say herb for H-E-R-B, and other people say herb for H-E-R-B. Oh, shoot. Who is Madeline Hill from Hilltop Herb Farm said the H is most definitely pronounced. You may or may not know who I'm talking about. So he may be in a part of Italy where that H tends to get swallowed a bit.
Well, he's so soft-spoken too.
Yeah, but it's also, it's habet. So if you say it and the H is a little quiet or soft, you may not hear it.
I've been on some Latin pages where there's big war breaks out over that.
Oh, yes, yes. And the answer is if you go to the pronunciation guide in the front of, well, actually, for those of you that have Collins primer, you will find that he puts H's are pronounced. So, and also, well, I could cite other authorities on it. So, and again, the reason they claim it isn't is because in some regions it wasn't. It's kind of swallowed. And so therefore it must be since it was swallowed here, it must be swallowed everywhere. And the answer is nope, it's not true. So let's go back to the printed parts before we get too far. So let's see, we had a Davus now. Okay, so Davus, qui dominum suum non videt, medum interrogat. Quid est, now we know what quid is, what. Est is, and quid est just means, what is it? And medus, mede. So anyway, Davus.
I go, what's up?
No, it literally, that would be quid agis.
Quid agis.
Or quid agit, sorry, it would be agit. Quid agis is what are you up to? Quid agit is what's up in general. So anyway, Davus. I think that was you, Vince, right?
Okay. Quid est mede?
Medus.
Dominus ades salutat Dominum.
Servus Dominum salutat. That's you, Medus.
No, that's
Vince.
That's Davus.
Yeah, but that's Vince.
Salve Domine.
Dominus servum salutat. Oh, we need a Julius. Sorry, stepping on Julius's lines here. That's you, Alex.
Yeah, sorry. Salve Servi.
Davus.
Quid est,
Yeah, good.
quid est Domine?
Julius.
Tace Servi. Tace et audi.
Servus tacet. Tace means be quiet. So servus tacet is the servant, or the slave is, or servant is quiet. Julius.
In saculo meo sunt decem tantum numi. Ubi sunt ceteri numi mei.
Davus tacet. Neque respondet. Emilia.
Responde, Dave. Dominus te interrogat.
Pecunia tua hic non est interrogat? Interrogat medum.
Yep. Julius medum interrogat.
Ubi sunt numi mei, mede?
Medus nullum verbum respondet. Julius Rursus eum interrogat.
Ubi est pecunia mea? Responde, Servi.
Medus davum accusat. Pecunia tuo in saculo Davi est. Davus oops, sorry. Medus, I stepped on your whole soliloquy there.
It's mine.
Pecunia tua in saculo Davi est. Davus pecuniam tuam alit.
Emilia.
Dave. Medus te accusat.
Quem medus accusat? Me?
Julius.
Tace mede. Servus qui servum accusat improbus est.
Medus tacet. And yeah, and just that is something for Medus to accuse another slave would have been very what's the word I want? Besides improbus. That would have been very
Proper.
improper, yes. Yeah, if you looked up who is the one that wrote the book all about social interactions and being polite and
How to win friends and influence people.
yeah, no,
Dale
no,
Carnegie.
no. It was a famous woman wrote.
Oh, Emily Post.
Emily Post. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, Emily Post would have if she wrote a section on the proper decorum of slaves.
In today's vernacular, you'd say you're out of line.
Yeah. So and you can see Julius say that. So basically, he wants Davus to speak for himself and Medus to speak for himself. So anyway, Julius Davum non accusat, sed interrogat eum. So Julius.
Okay. Est ne pecunia mea in saculo tuo Dave?
Davus.
In saculo meo non est pecunia tua, Domine.
Julius.
Ubi est saculos tuus?
Hic est, ecce saculus meus.
Julius.
Saculum tuum in mensa pone.
Mensa. Sorry. Davus saculum suum in mensa ponet. Iam saculus eus in mensa est. Julius baculum suum in mensa ponet. Baculum Domini in mensa est. So where have we seen this baculum before? We saw it in the last chapter.
Yeah.
Verberat. Yeah, they did use the baculum in the last chapter, didn't they? So anyway.
Verbo and baculum go together.
Okay. Vale. Davus bidet in saculo meo nulla pecunia est.
Iulius nullam pecuniam videt in saculo. In saculo Davi nulli numi sunt. Saculus eius vacuus est. Davus pecuniam Domini non habet. So remember, the W is pronounced, so it's vacuus, like tuum.
Vacuus.
Yeah,
Okay.
vacuus. Iulius,
Oh, Davus, bonus servus est, pecunia meam non habet, ecce numus tuus Dave.
yeah, now notice, why didn't he use the vocative here? He used the vocative here, but he didn't
He
use
wasn't commanding him to do anything.
Well, he wasn't telling him to do anything. He wasn't
Yeah.
speaking it to him. He was making a statement. Davus bonus servus est. Davus is a good slave. He does not have my money. Ecce numus tuus, Dave.
Well, because he's not really addressing Davus.
Yeah, he wasn't addressing Davus here.
He's speaking out loud.
Yeah, he is here, but not there.
Right.
Yeah, he's making a
That's why you
statement.
have Dave in the next sentence.
Right. Iulius unum numum ponet in saculo Davi. Iam saculus Davi non est vacuus. In saculo eius est unus numus. Davus laetus est. Let me see where we are. Oh, yeah, we'll go up to the second. We'll do the rest. Iulius.
Sume saculum tuum et descede bone serve.
Davus saculum suum sumit et discedit. Suum or sumit, well, ponit. Yeah, in fact, we'll go back here. Ponit, I don't guess. Yeah, here we go. Davus saculum in mensa ponit. So Davus saculum in mensa, table. Ponit means to put, to place. Whereas sumit is the opposite word, means to take up.
Okay.
Venet means to come. Discedit means to go.
Take your person, go.
Yeah.
Depart.
Well, yeah. Okay. So medus baculum quod in mensa est videt. So he sees that thing on the table.
Yep. That tells him something.
That tells him something. Whoops, I went too far. Sorry about that. Medus quoque discedit. Cur discedit medus? Medus discedit quia is pecuniam Domini in saculo suo habet. Medus, Davus et medus absunt. So I hate to tell you, Medus, you're a thief.
Michael?
Yes.
No, I think I mispronounced that, the word discedit. So
yeah,
the
discedit.
way to treat that is we've got one syllable is the dis,
Right.
and then another syllable is the ced.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not,
yeah, I've heard it discedit and discedit.
well, I pronounced it discedit, but I guess it makes more sense the way you said it,
Well, hold
discedit.
on. Let's see what our friend the Italian has to say about this.
Yeah, I thought the SC was a soft.
Well, it is.
But when you got two syllables like that,
yeah,
not
see,
sure.
that's the problem. It's two syllables. Cedo is a perfectly good word. Discedo meaning to leave, okay? So you put the dis in front of it. And I'm pretty sure that is a discedit, but let's check that. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Let's play some more here.
Iulius Davum non accusat, sed interrogat eum. Est ne pecunia mea in saculo tuo, Dave? Davus, in saculo meo non est pecunia tua, Domine. Iulius, ubi est saculus tuus? Davus, hic est. ecce saculus meus. Iulius, saculum tuum in mensa pone. Davus saculum suum in mensa ponit. Iam saculus eius in mensa est. Iulius baculum suum in mensa ponit. Baculum Domini in mensa est. Davus vide, in saculum eo nulla pecunia est. Iulius nullam pecuniam videt in saculo. In saculo Davi nulli nummi sunt. Saculus eius vacuus est. Davus pecuniam Domini non habet. Iulius, o Davus bonus servus est, pecuniam meam non habet. Ecce nummus tuus, Dave. Iulius unum nummum ponit in saculo Davi. Iam saculus Davi non est vacuus. In saculo eius est unus nummus. Davus letus est. Iulius, sume saculum tuum et discede, bone serve. Davus saculum suum sumit et discedit.
He's saying "sh."
Medus
Yeah, he's kind of
vacuum.
going with a sh sound than the disshaded.
Hey, Michael.
Yes.
I was just looking at the Collins now that I've parked here. The S, it says that the C is normally ch, but it says in the notes section where you were talking about the grazia, it says that an S and a C followed by an E or an I is actually sh.
Yeah.
So in this case, it'd be a sh.
Yeah,
Disshading.
the only
Disshading,
question
yeah.
is when you have two syllables like that, whether that changes it.
Yeah. I've heard it both ways, disshaded and disshaded. So we'll try and use disshaded since that's what our speaker here is using. But I won't criticize you if you say disshaded. Because I say here, let me show you something. Do I have it up? Yeah, here. I have to. There we go. Hold on. I thought I had it. What's going on here? Why is this not working? Oh, that's why. Okay.
If you could enlarge that YouTube screen a little bit, we're losing like the top of the page.
Yeah,
The first couple lines.
Let me see if that's actually.
I don't know if you can do that or not.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me take it off. Let me take it off there. Okay. Yeah, when I put it on the maximize. Oh, there we go. That fixed it. Yeah. Hold on just a second here. All right. Okay. Let me add this to the screen share. This may be exciting to read. There we go. Whoops. All right. If you look up cedo, it means to hither with it, hear, give, tell. So the cedo means to be present, and the discedo means to go away. So if we put the dis in front of it, whoop, not that way, D-I-S-C, discedo, you can see that the dis is being added, and discedo means to part, separate, go away. I don't know if you can see that terribly down there. I realize the print is pretty small. So I have heard it both ways, and
the way they've got it for Lewis and Short, it looks like they're saying it as discedo.
Yes. Now they have it easier because Lewis and Short is classical. So it would be discedo.
Oh, okay.
So it'd be a hard C. So you never soften the C. So like
Yeah, so that
he
doesn't really
knows
solve anything.
SCIT in classical is skit, whereas unfortunately in ecclesiastical it is shit. So what can I say? So I've heard it both ways. I'm gonna go with discedo for now.
It's
And
a tomato.
yeah, I think I'll poke around and see if I can find any other. As I said, this guy is Italian, and so he's using full Italian pronunciation. He does make a few quirky things like habet. Is it a habet or is it an abet? It's kind of hard to say. So I wouldn't say he's. I'm not going to gift him papal infallibility here, at least as far as Latin pronunciation. But it does seem that it should be a discedo. And let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, we were back on the preview, weren't we? So I'll see if I can hunt up a few. See, the other problem. Well, never mind.
Michael,
Yes.
I had a question about something in this. This chapter uses eius and suus,
Yes.
and I was going to ask you if you're going to get into
Oh,
the distinction
yes.
where, when, and where to
do
use
that.
those two.
All right, let me see if I got this in the notes.
I was thinking the same thing, Alex. Great minds think alike.
Let's see here. Hold on a second.
This is one of the more confusing things for me to get straight.
Hold on.
Pronouns give me a problem, but for some reason the suum and stuff, that was easier for me to.
Okay, here we go. Here
Well,
we
I'm
go.
talking about suus and eius.
Yeah, here we go. Now, suis suis suum means his or her or its own. So in other words, it's only used if the possessor is the owner of the item in question. So Julius pecuniam suum sumit. Julius takes his own money, okay? That money, the pecunium there, is Julius's, okay?
But if you had Medus there and he was taking Julius's money,
Yes. Eus is the genitive form of is, ea, and id. We've had it in eum and eam. But it must be if the possessor is someone else other than the owner. So medus pecuniam eius sumit means medus takes his, her, or its someone else's money. Let's see if I put this in the other slide. Hold on. Let me see if I put this in here. Yes, here we go. If I said he gave him his book, how many males are we talking about? One, not likely, because he gave him his book. Why would you, that would be he gave himself his own book. I mean, you could make it that way. Maybe there's two. He gave to some other dude his own book. What about three? He gave him
some other dude's book.
Some other dude's book.
Yeah.
So you have three, one, two, or three possibilities here. So in English, we really don't know who the book belonged to. Let's see. I don't know who the book belonged. There we go. So it could belong to the subject. It could belong to the person it was given to or like returned, or it can be somebody else's book entirely. So Latin does distinguish between one's own possessions and a second party's possession. So actually, let me go back one more here. Yeah. So for sua sua suum, it means his own money, and eius means somebody else's money. So so medus pecuniam suum sumit would be wrong because it was not his money. Now you could argue that it would be correct after he took the money, but we'll let Alex, who is in a lawyer and into that.
Possession being,
Yeah,
19
yeah. Well, we're gonna find out in later chapters. But,
Finders keepers is one thing, but theft is another.
yeah. He just happened to find it in Julius's bag. Was lying there.
Whoa, look what I just found.
Yeah. So I don't think that's going to hold up against a jury. So that is the difference. Is sua sua suum mean, and the best way to think of it is to put in own. So we can go back here to the let's see here. Okay. Davus saculum suum sumit et discedit. So Davus takes his own bag and leaves. Okay.
Saculum suum.
Saculum suum. Yeah. It's Davus's saculum suum. And let's see here. Now you can use eius. They did use eius here. Iam saculus Davi non est vacuus, in saculo eius est unus numus. So you can use eius in places where you really do mean his own, but you cannot use suum unless it really is his own. So you'll see, let's see.
So what you're saying is all through this chapter, they could have just used eius.
Yes. Although
but they couldn't all through this chapter just use sum.
Correct. Saculus eius vacus est. We're talking about Davus or Saculus Davi. So there's the eius. And actually, where did they? Yeah, and to another little subtlety there is by using Iulius baculum suum in mensa ponet. They're emphasizing that the baculum belongs to Iulius. So in this case, the baculum. In fact, if we go back here, can I? No. BAC. Oh, 1C. Baculum. If you look it up, it is a stick or a staff. So generally, it would also be considered a walking stick. You'd use baculum for a walking stick. So anyway, what they're emphasizing that Iulius put his his staff or rod on the table.
I can imagine he did it with great emphasis as he stared down his Servi.
Yeah. And Davus saculum suum in mensa ponent. Davus put his own bag on the table. So you can use eius. I mean, they've used it a couple places here. I think what Orberg is trying to emphasize here is suum is always in association. Let's see, do they have it here? Let's see if they have any hints on the side. I don't see. I don't think there was in the Grammatica Latina. No, the Grammatica Latina just has the imperativus and indicativus. Oh, and of course the vocativus. No, he doesn't. Yeah, I think he's trying to divide the line between them. And any more questions on that? Since, yeah, okay.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. So yeah, if you see suum, sua, suum, suum, sua, sorry, suis, sua, suum, then it really means his own. And yeah, and eius is a sort of a general, just a general possessive. And well, I'll leave it at that. So, any other questions? Okay. Well, let's go down to the Grammatica Latina and cover some of it. Well, we said the vocativus. We had examples. Medus davum vocat. Dave. So if you know anybody named Dave, tell them that their name is in the vocative. Or better yet, not. They may call the guys in the white coats with the long arms against you. So dave vocativus est, vocativus when the nominativus is us. Yeah. Now I did not mention something about. I want to mention the. Okay, let's. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. Whoop, no, I'll get that. Whoop, where is it? Ah, here it is. Where is it? I put it in here someplace. All right, where is it? Oh, I'm way past it. Okay. For IUS ending nouns, just drop the US, leaving the I, and make it long. That was the other thing I wanted to say. So filius becomes fili, and Julius becomes Juli. Now, well, I'll just leave it at that. There are cases where the IUS ending is they stick an E on the end. But for now, let's just leave it as filius is filii and Julius is Julii. And have you ever heard the phrase Pie Jesus?
Yeah.
Pie
Yeah.
US. Here, let me stick this up here. Okay. Let's see here. What's the whole phrase? Pie Jesus. I can't think what the, whoops, can't spell right. Well, that really means pious Jesus. Pious meaning loving, kind, attentive, considerate. It's a very hard word to really translate well in English. So you might think if you're talking to Jesus, you want to say Pi Jesus. Whoop. Pi Jesus. Well, no, it's actually Pie Jesus. So there are places where if it is not a proper name, they will put the E on the IUS ending adjective or noun.
Could you say that again, Michael? I couldn't hear.
Okay. Okay. So, all right, let's do this. If it is a proper name, then IUS will go to just a long I. I. What did I do? Oh, hold on. I'm not using the right keyboard. There it is. There. So, Julius, what happened here? Yeah, there we go. Julius becomes Julii. Okay? Or Juli, sorry. Filius is also a long I. So it becomes Filii, F-I-L, whoop, yeah, Filii. If it is not a proper name, then sometimes, and I'm going to emphasize this, you will see an IE ending. So Pie Jesu, for example. Now, the tricky part, oops, sorry, the vocative form of Jesus is Jesu. And I realize we just got sending, well, if it's a US ending verb and it's second declension, don't you make it an E? And the answer is yes, this is true, but Jesus is not second declension. Okay. It is its own word. In fact, let me pop up. I almost hate to go. This is kind of getting off topic. There we go. All right. It was from Hebrew, okay? And it is an irregular noun, okay? So, oh, they don't have the conjugation. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let's see if it is in here. Ah, here we go. Here's the declension. So you see the genitive is Jesu, the dative is Jesu, the accusative is Jesum, the ablative is Jesu, and the vocative is Jesu. So this is an irregular noun. There's not a lot of them. And actually, it's not so much irregular as it belongs to the fourth declension, which is not to be confused with the fourth dimension. We'll get to all that in the future. But just, for the moment, Jesus is got its own special noun, which is fitting. So anyway, you will see Pie Jesu in some cases. So I bring it up only because there's a great deal of debate, even by the ancient Latin grammarians, as to whether you would say PA or P. To a certain extent, it will depend on when that particular piece was written, because there are certain stylistic things that were in the vogue at the time. Some go in, some go out. Good example is, what is the plural of hippopotamus?
Hippopotami. Hippopotamus.
Actually, originally, when it was first borrowed into English, the plural was hippopotamuses. I think Shakespeare would have said hippopotamuses. Well, I believe it was in the 1800s. They said, well, that's a Latin word. That's a barbarism. We should make it hippopotami.
Mhm.
And so a lot of the Latin borrowed words that ended in US, people started putting an I on the end. So if you look up in the dictionary, hippopotamuses and hippopotami are both equally valid. I prefer hippopotami because it's easier to say, but whatever. So just
My
be aware that you will sometimes see that E in there for Pius. or well, for USN, but it's not, but it's only if it's not a proper name. See, pious here is an adjective. Okay. It's not a name. You were going to say something, Alex?
I want to make sure I understand that for this Julia, Uli, and Filius, Fili. Are we talking about the vocative case for that?
Yes. Oh, good
Okay.
heavens. Let me put, here, let me copy it. Where is it? There we go. Let me steal that.
Okay.
Edit. Whoops. Paste and match style. There we go. Whoops. So. Whoop. Wow. One finger is definitely slower than the other. Yeah, so you can see, yeah, it's Pie Jesu Domine. Let me see if I can look at, give me a second to look it up. I'm trying to remember the exact phrase. I should know what it is. Pie Jesu. I should know where it's used, but that's right. It's from the Dies Irae. Okay. I knew I'd seen it. Let me bring up the Dies Irae just because I'm sure everybody's heard of the Dies Irae, but you probably haven't seen it. Okay, let me add this to the list. There. There. Okay, I think everybody can see that, right? Okay, this is the Dies Irae. It's one of the most famous melodies. Dies Irae, Dies Illa, solvet seclum in favilla. It's such a cheery tune. It used to be associated with, well, in the 62 Missal and prior, it was usually in the Office of the Dead and Mass of the Dead. Today it isn't, which is rather sad, but good translation, just to give you the sense of it. That day of wrath, that dreadful day, shall heaven and earth in ashes lay, as David and the Sibyl say, meaning we're talking about the end of the world here. But down here, way at the bottom, is Pie Jesu Domine, Dona Eis Requiem. So,
give us rest.
Yeah, so you can
Grant
see,
rest.
yeah, grant them rest.
Grant them rest.
Jeus. So you can see the Jesu is vocative, the PA is vocative, but instead of P, it is PA, and then the Domine. So you will see this. Will you see it all the time? No. There are places where they use the general rule where you just put an I in there. So I'm just saying be aware of that fact. And I hopefully did not confuse you any more than you already are. So, any more questions? Oh, we were doing the Grammatica Latina, weren't we? So, Salve Domine, Mede, Veni. So in the vocative, and it's most of the, and in at this chapter, you're just going to see mostly the U.S. endings. So
that may be the reason why the ship that was not far from the Titanic got confused. They were Latin scholars, and when they heard the word Mayday,
oh, that's terrible.
never mind.
I was wondering where you were going with that, Alex. I figured it had to be a joke, but I could not see for the life of me.
That's a pretty lousy thing to say, but who knows? It could have been a Latin scholar who was reading this, and
Well, that's like you know Karl Marx, who was essentially um,
not personally.
well, yeah, I know, not personally, but he wrote the Communist Manifesto and sort of the big lights in communism. What's not as well recognized is he had a sister. His sister's name was Anya. Now, you should actually
I know where you're
recognize that
going with this. Well, I
because,
ran track in high
yeah,
school
right. Everybody, all the races, they begin with her name,
with her
Anya
name.
Marx. So be careful. I can come up with some pretty bad ones too.
Okay, Anya.
Well, fortunately, nobody's disconnected from Zoom. So anyway, let's move on. So the vocative is pretty easy, but the imperative is also pretty easy. So we had servus davum vocat. The slave calls davum. So voca davum means call Davis. Tace et audi, servus tacet et audit. So all you got to do is drop that T. This is for the from the third person, and you have the imperative. So we have salutat, saluta,
Yeah, this is really helpful.
Sumit, which means to take up.
Yeah.
Now we have an English word. Okay, good English word. Assumption. The assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. So she was assumed into heaven. She did not under her own power be ascended into heaven like Jesus. Rather, she was assumed into heaven, taken up. And so assume ultimately comes down from that same word. So sumit means to take up. Sume means to take up, like something's on the table. And then venit, he comes. And then veni, and I'm sure most of you have heard veni, veni, Emmanuel. O come, Emmanuel. Everybody sings it with a long E, veni, veni, which is wrong, but just sing it with a long E anyway. When in Rome, or I should say when not in Rome. So, Medus saluta Dominum. So Medus is warning Davos that, hey, his master is here, and so he should first greet him before just sort of barging into the room and ignoring him. So it's a pretty easy form. So a, e, and I. So at, it, in it. Any questions on any of that? And so let's see.
I have a question about
Sure.
a line early in this chapter.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me close.
And I may have missed. I may have missed you commenting on it. It's line 8. It's at almost the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so is this surely there aren't 100 coins there or here? Is that what the translation of this num hic centum numi sunt? Because num
Yes.
expects a negative answer. So would it be appropriate? Amelia's questioning whether there are 100 coins there.
Yes. She's basically saying there aren't 100 coins here. Are
He
there?
probably sees that the Socolus is kind
Yeah.
of flat.
Let's face it. I don't know about your Socolus, but if my Socolus had 100 quarters in it versus
Yeah.
10, there would be a significant difference.
And by
in size.
contrast, if she said, if she thought that there were, she could say none.
Yes.
She'd say none hic centum numi sunt,
Yes.
which is just the opposite of num.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
just want
keep
to make
getting
sure
those
I
confused.
understood that right.
Pardon, Teresa? What?
I keep getting this confused. I have
Yeah.
to keep
Nonne.
reminding us, yeah.
Nonne, think of that as like, isn't Italy in Europe? Okay. Num is oh boy.
I try to remember it like Noom is almost like a vacuous. It's like a null. So you're asking, it's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
null, isn't it?
Well,
It's
to
how
be
my
honest
brain
with
works.
you, I remember the nonne, which way the nonne goes. Therefore, num goes the other way,
Yeah, exactly.
which is probably not a great help. Um,
I remember none because I think not no.
yeah, not no. Yeah, it's not no. Oh, good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
nonne.
true. That's true.
Yeah, is literally not no. Ooh, yeah, that's a good way to remember it because the answer is not no. The answer should be yes. Italy is in Europe or whatever. Yeah. And even English kind of trips itself up because if I say there aren't 100 coins there, do you say yes, meaning there aren't? Or do you say no, meaning there aren't? English really doesn't handle it terribly gracefully.
Yes, we have no bananas.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, right. Good one. And if you've ever seen the movie Clue, they have a whole scene with that. With
Kind of a who's on first type
well,
thing.
no. Who's
They're
on
trying
first?
to
No,
say it and they keep
no. Who's on first is the name of the name of that person really is who. So it's not the same
I
thing.
understand, but it's kind of the theory that you're saying something, you're trying to say something else, but it's taken another way.
Okay, I'll buy that. Yeah, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, we are running out of time. So the best thing to do now, what I want to do for next week, and I should be able to be there next week. They're doing the wet dress rehearsal January 30th, which means they're gonna, well, the launch vehicle, the Artemis, has already been rolled out to the pad. And so the
It's
next
getting
step,
close, isn't it?
yeah, so the next step is to something called the wet dress rehearsal, where we go through the ascent sequence and fill the thing with propellant, which is liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, and do a whole bunch of other things and count down very close to zero, but we don't go past zero. And that's just to make sure everything is working properly. And then assuming that goes well, then February 6th is where the launch window opens. And there's a series of days where the launch window is open. It'll be launched late in the evening / night, early night. And the reason for that is because it's easier to see the moon then, right? No,
There are no
no,
clouds.
the answer there is no, that's not why it's launched at night. It has to do with the fact that you have to have the moon lined up just right so that when you get there, the moon is there. So, well, yeah. I mean, if you've ever done hunting or shot at a moving target, you don't aim at the target where it is.
You
You
leave.
aim where it's gonna be.
Aim where
Yeah.
it's going to be, and the vehicle can only go so fast, and has only, well, let me put it this way: it only has so much gas. So if you have to go a whole lot farther, you'll run out of gas before you get there. You know,
It's like a conductor of an orchestra too.
yes, yes, very much so. So anyway, that will be February 6th is the earliest opening of the launch window. There's, I think, 6th, 7th, 8th, maybe 10th. I'd have to go back and look at my schedule.
And what's your role in this, Michael?
I wrote a great deal of the software in the control system. Let's see. There are,
That's a awesome responsibility.
yeah, it's called,
Yeah.
the whole thing is called GN&C for guidance, navigation, and control. What does that all mean? Now, I imagine everybody has a smartphone, and maybe even, I hope everybody uses their map from time to time, whether it's Google or Apple or whatever. Well, navigation is a bit like, hey, that little blue spot on the map that says where you are, that's navigation. Navigation tells you where you are. Guidance is the route you have to follow to get wherever you want to go. And control is you at the steering wheel. So control orients the spacecraft and does what's known as the various burns, the various delta V burns. You know, if you want to think about it, if you're in a car driving and you see a red light up front, take your foot off the gas pedal and you just sort of coast on in.
You don't drive in Houston much, do you?
Yeah, maybe not in Houston. You probably accelerate and then slam on your brake, but anyway, you know, most of the flight of a spacecraft is coasting, you know, coasting very quickly, I might add. But to change direction, you have to do what's known as a burn. And so I wrote the a lot of the logic for doing burns and maneuvers and I also wrote a lot of the manual control software. So if the spacecraft crashes
Oh, don't say that.
something, as long as it was pointed in the right direction, it was not my problem.
Yeah. Don't even utter the words.
Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, I will be in mission control, not in the room that you normally see on TV, but in a room adjacent to it called the mission evaluation room. And they will suck me in for the wet dress rehearsal, which is kind of sad because I'm orbit. I have nothing to do pretty much. Well, that's not entirely true. I do have to monitor things to make sure the orbit stuff that is going to be used, you know, when they get to orbit is still working. But it's
And you never know what you might see that would affect a
yeah,
possible change or
well,
whatever.
it's comparative to watching paint dry, quite frankly. Now, granted, you know, the paint could start running or the sheetrock could start crumbling, but that's very rare. So anyway, but next Thursday I should be free, and after that, let's see, let's see. So that would be the 29th.
Right.
And then a week later is the 5th. Well, I'm not making any promises on the 5th. I don't believe actually, does the launch window open? Let me check here. I have a handy dandy calendar of launch windows.
Yeah, I'm coming up on some more
Yep,
ball
6th.
mangling, but I'm not sure when it's going to be.
Yeah, the 6th, the 7th. Yeah, well, actually, I may be able to make, oh, well, if it goes, then after that, Thursday classes will probably be canceled for a week or two. It's only a 10-day flight, so, but I'll let you guys know. But next
Michael,
week is good. Yes.
just a quick question. Line 81 of
Yes.
this, where it says Davus bonus servis s, and then he has the third person he is
Right.
non-homic. Now, let me just ask a question, because last class we talked about how the third person was implied when you're talking.
Right.
But I think you made the point that one reason why you would have the third person in there would be to emphasize that third person. Is that what's going on here? Because he's distinguishing Davus from Medus when he says he does
Yes.
not have my money. And
Yeah.
then he immediately launches into talking about Medus.
Yeah. Yeah. The is ea id. Let's see. Did I talk about any? I got to remember what I put in the charts. I did these charts a long time ago. Let's see. I know. No.
Respondent.
Let's see. Where did I put it? Yeah, I will talk. Yeah, I'll talk more about the pronouns next time because we kind of ran out of time here. But
Yep.
yes, the is ea id, from which we have eum and eam, and you're going to find out is next, is not really a pronoun, but like who's your okay, like Superman. uh he has a dual identity. Sometimes he's Clark Kent and sometimes he's Superman. Well, is ea id is like that. It is used in many places the way we would use a pronoun, but it
But
is also
here,
used in other places where it is not.
here he could have just said non habet pecuniam meam, but
Um,
if he did that,
it would be, yeah, it would be hanging out there a little bit because you've got Amelia, you've got Julius, you've got Davus, you've got well, I guess Medus.
so that could
Okay, Medus
be
left.
anyone. Yeah.
So he really wants to specify or be specific and say Davus is non habet pecuniam meam, which really means means that one.
Refers right back to Davus.
Yes, it refers right back to Davus. So, and we'll catch that next time. As I said, for the moment, pretend they're pronouns. Pretend they're all Clark Kent.
For example, down on 85, where it says "Medus non respondet quia abest." Well, I mean, one way to think of that is he doesn't reply because he is not, he's away.
Yeah.
So the he is understood there,
right.
Whereas it's not understood in line 81 because you've got the is there.
Yeah. Yeah, and the quia means since, and it is giving the reason for the previous clause statement.
Yeah.
So Medus is clearly, you're saying why he doesn't respond. So there would be a need for an is. So okay. All right. Well, let's finish up. Any last minute questions, and then we'll finish up with our final prayer. And so, so work on section 3. Look at the grammar, reread chapter 4, listen to chapter 4. And for you who are very, very quiet during all this, feel free to, engage in conversation. If you make mistakes, fine. That's what we're here, is to learn and to correct them. So any last minute questions? All right, then mute everybody. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Amen. Okay, so with that is the official end of the class.